This video is brought to you by Answerly, a question platform that pays you for adding high-quality answers on different questions. The users are rewarded in Answerly tokens, which they can easily convert into dollars or any other cryptocurrency by using one of the exchanges mentioned in the description.
Spider-Man is on the clock almost every hour of the day. When there's danger, he will not back down. Hello and welcome to our YouTube channel. In today's video, we will be talking about what Spider-Man looks like without CGI. We are so used to the digital special effects which define action or sci-fi movies that we forget that there are still directors who make masterpieces without a CGI in sight. Before there was Tom Holland and Andrew Garfield, there was Tobey Maguire, the original live-action Spider-Man. Tobey originated the character on the screen in 2002, and the film met great success, pulling in 2 more movies that blew up at the box office. But before we dive deeper into what Spider-Man looks like without CGI, like this video, smash the subscribe button, and click the notification bell right now for more videos like this one. Cinema has evolved greatly since its inception, especially in the area of VFX, visual effects. In the last few decades, CGI, meaning computer-generated imagery, has dominated many movies, from dramas to blockbusters. While revolutionary, the use of CGI effects has come under much scrutiny in recent years. As the movie industry has made technological advancements, the use of computer-generated imagery or CGI has been abundant. In fact, it is nearly impossible to distinguish a visually stunning scene from being CGI or real. Be prepared to be amazed as what Spider-Man looks like without CGI. So without further ado, here are some of the Spider-Man scene without CGI. Let's get started. Number 1. Tray Catch Spider-Man. You may not think of special effects when it comes to shooting a cafeteria scene, but Spider-Man breaks the mold. Sam Raimi's Spider-Man has some truly memorable moments, including the tray catch scene, which was achieved without CGI. The superhero genre has a lot to thank Sam Raimi's Spider-Man for, including one of the most iconic scenes in any superhero movie that wasn't computer-generated. It was all thanks to Tobey Maguire's skills. In 2002, Peter Parker made the jump to big screen in Spider-Man, directed by Sam Raimi and with Tobey Maguire as the title character. The film was a critical and financial success, making way for 2 sequels and being credited for redefining the modern superhero genre as well as the summer blockbuster. Being in high school and dealing with superpowers definitely isn't easy, and Peter Parker knows it, as he had to continue with his life as a student in the most normal way possible while also learning to control his many powers, which obviously had to show up at the most inconvenient moments, except when Mary Jane slipped and he caught her, as well as her lunch, in a very impressive move that was all Tobey Maguire's work. One good day, after Peter discovered he no longer needed glasses as his sight had improved overnight and he was stronger than before, he was casually sitting at the cafeteria without bothering anyone. Mary Jane walked past him and slipped, with Peter quickly standing up to catch her with one hand and her lunch with the other. What's impressive about it is how he catches the food with a tray, prompting MJ to praise his excellent reflexes. It's an impressive move for Peter, and even more impressive is the fact that the scene was achieved with no CGI. As short and smooth as the scene is, it took 156 takes to shoot the scene absolutely right. What makes the scene even harder to shoot is that the fact that instead of CGI, the tray was sticky and the crew members had to throw the food items on it while hoping that they land on the tray as planned. Number 2. Watch how Spider-Man Far From Home illusion battle took 9 months to make. Spider-Man Far From Home was one of the biggest movies of 2019. In a central battle sequence, Spider-Man visits what he believes to be the Berlin office of Europol, but instead, it's a trap set by Mysterio. The villain uses holographic techniques and projector drones to create a sequence of horrifying illusions. Although the movie's VFX was completed by a combination of companies, Framestore was responsible for this thrilling section. To make a sequence like this, the shots must go through different stages, with 120 employees all working in unison: modeling, texture, shading, rigging, animation, rendering, and lightening the shot. The transitions from one scene to another were particularly difficult. They used an FX-driven transition dubbed the BARF effect, which is based on the transition used by Iron Man in a scene from Captain America's Civil War. Effects such as Mysterio's blast or the smoke inside his helmet were created by other vendors. Framestore created the effects of green smoke and applied it to different environments. The texture of the smoke can be dry ice, wispy, or thick like a floor. The sequence involves 3 main Spider-Man suits. The homemade suit, as seen in Spider-Man Homecoming, the stealth suit, and the Homecoming suit. At one stage, we see Spidey in a shard room where he looks at multiple versions of himself, all moving independently. For this, the team had to create 20 individual animated Spider-Man suits. Well, how does it work? Spider-Man's suit without CGI? Marvel's Spider-Man has worn a variety of outfits throughout his film career, whether in the MCU or independent franchises. Spider-Man is one of Marvel's most well-known characters. The superhero has been a prominent component of the public mind for decades, despite being incredibly relatable and possessing one of the most unique power capabilities of any superhero. The web crawler will always have a home, whether in comic books or other kinds of media. This is especially true in the movies, as the character has been played by a variety of actors over the years, each with their distinctive outfits. It is hard not to notice that the suit went to an evolution. The new costume made much more use of CGI than previous suits. Those expressive eyes were all computer-generated, and they were frequently filmed with an motion capture suit rather than the Spider-Man costume. So how did they manage to display so much Tom Holland and so much CGI in such a little amount of time? They got a skilled dancer from the infamous Billy Elliot musical, which was recognized for teaching children to be graceful dancers. Tom was capable of flips and stunts that none of the previous Spider-Mans had attempted. Not only that, but Tom developed a passion for gymnastics, which served as fantastic inspiration for their Spider-Man to perform the actual stunts with many personalities. Tom was a younger, goofier Spider-Man, as well as the clumsiest. Tom's Spider-Man, unlike the other Spider-Man, wears a variety of outfits. The majority of what the suit did was done on the spot. The stealth suit, sometimes known as the Night Monkey suit, was another option. This had to be haptic and distinct from the typical Spider-Man. This outfit was designed to depict a newer, more mature Spider-Man. The light blue has been replaced with more black, the shoulders have been given a little more muscle, and the entire outfit was designed to show that Spider-Man was no longer in Tony Stark's shadow. It was less technologically advanced and more focused on what made Spider-Man who he is. Meanwhile, Spider-Man No Way Home is almost about to swing into cinemas, and honestly, the release date can't come soon enough. After the first trailer was unveiled in August 2021, the teasers for Tom Holland's third solo Spider-Man movie have been coming thick and fast, including a brand new trailer that may or may not tease the inclusion of some OG Spider-Man. Holland has already called it the most ambitious standalone superhero movie ever made, and now he has said he never thought it would work. When I was first pitched the idea, I was like, wow, that would be awesome if we could pull it off, but there's no way it's going to work. It's just not going to happen. But it did happen, and it's crazy. He enthused. It is a bold claim, but given the return of some characters for Spider-Man movies before the MCU crossover, Holland might not be exaggerating, especially if you take into account the rumors of who else just might be swinging into action again. These days, it seems that every possible use of special effects in a movie are done via CGI. After all, it's gotten to the point that it looks so real, you can hardly tell the difference. But some filmmakers still rely on practical effects every once in a while. Granted, it doesn't happen often, but practical effects are still around, and some filmmakers simply prefer to use them. What can you say about Spider-Man scenes without CGI? Let us know your thoughts about this video in the comments section down below.
If you like this video, make sure to smash the like button and subscribe to this channel. To learn more about Answerly and Answerly tokens, check out the links in the description.